T3 is weird.
T3 Media.
Welcome to T3 Media's Movie News. Movie news by fans for fans. I'm your host, Joy Fagan, and joining me is the always handsome, always funny Chris Fagan.
I didn't know you were going to just start lying to everybody. You're just going to start lying right off the bat. Hey, baby, thanks for helping me out on the show today. I'm also trying to listen in to my left to make sure that the sound quality is coming in. So if anybody kicks in live and oh yeah, the sound. The sound. I fixed it. I got it working. So that's cool, guys. Thank you for joining on another episode of T3 Media's. I think I got everything working all right. We have a new little setup going on right here, some new equipment. I've been struggling all week to try to get it all set up. I know you guys are used to seeing us stream live, but we're going to be doing the show a little bit later than normal. So as far as Sarah Catherine the Red, we're going to try to figure out later on when those kind of collaborations or whenever I work with anyone collaborating through Zoom and things like that is possible. We still got to figure those things out. And when we do figure those things out, we'll figure those things out, and maybe those things happen again. Like Sarah with Amy, for example. Dire situation. He's already in the live chat. What's going on, Daniel? What's going on, brother? But yeah, what's helping me out today, as you guys can see, is my wife, Joy.
Hello.
and she also hooked it up with totally messed up my Jack Daniels glasses with these fruity drinks.
I was going for Tropical.
You got to speak. Oh, you got to speak.
I was going for Tropical.
It's fine.
But you didn't have Jack Daniels.
I didn't have Jack. Whose fault is that? You got to keep the supply.
That would be you.
Going up, right? All right, you got to always keep the supply. But yeah, we got some new stuff showing up here in the studio. Been working pretty hard all week. That's why we took last week off. That's why I've been kind of behind on some of the things that we try to keep up with. But slowly but surely, we're going to be building back up. So you might see a panel of 3, 2, maybe 4 at one point sometime here. That's why we got the new desk, the new anchor desk. Now back to you, Joy. But that's kind of what the look I was going for here. But you guys, you know what's going on here, guys. Every week we go through the top news in movies and entertainment. We're going to go over those real quick. But before I do that, you guys know what to do. If you can't catch us on YouTube, you can always check us out on Google Podcasts, on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon as well. Hey, on Audible. There's another one out there too, but I'm still kind of mad at them, so I won't shout them out that much. You can also become a member. We have exclusives on our members only parts of our playlist. Become a Patreon to just support the channel. You can donate through us through Super Chats, through Twitch, and send questions on streamlabs.com/T3media/tips. And we appreciate you guys for sending us your questions, your comments, concerns, and letting us know what you guys think at all time. Now, another change is I usually do the real quick segment in the beginning. And I was telling Joy that I'm not doing that anymore. I'm still going to do the real quick thing. Like whenever there's some stuff that we just want to talk about, and I always say real quick, before, I'm always doing that like in normal conversation. Real quick, you want to talk about this? You want to talk about that? I'm going to put that at the end of the show. So when the show begins, it's going to be the main topic, which you all came to see. And you can see the real quick stuff. There's going to be a few things that we're going to talk about real quick on the side of that thumbnail. You'll see what those topics are. But we're going to go to the main topic first, and then the real quick stuff at the end of the show. So try to keep the show a tight 30 as possible, maybe 20, 25 minutes for the main topic if it warrants that long of a conversation. And then when it's time for the real quick, we're going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about real quick before the show ends. I think that might make it flow a little bit better. So with that being said, what is the main topic? I forgot. Spider-Man, right? So let's get into movie news. Spider-Man is the main topic. So guys, if you don't know, Spider-Man No Way Home just released for home video. And of course I got it the day before it even, a couple of days before. I think I pre-ordered it because I wanted to see it again. I wanted my kids to see it. We love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I don't know about this one over here, but
saw this last one, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
We saw it. How many times did we see it? 2, 3 times?
2 or 3 times at the theater.
In the theaters. I enjoyed it, and watching it again. What I'm gonna really dive into are those.
Prefaced by the fact that you also made me watch the original.
I made her watch all of them because I knew what was possible for No Way Home. Everybody, we all knew, but I knew it was possible. But I felt like the thing I like about Disney is that you can jump on in any movie. Like, you don't really necessarily have to see all these past movies to get into it. But there was an emotional thing.
So it was fresh for me.
Yeah,
I saw it just
like
a few days before.
Yeah, like she caught up to from Spider-Man to the Amazing Spider-Man, all of them. I just like the day before we went to go see it, we just finished watching because we saw the Venom movies already. We knew about that. But she hadn't seen any of the original Spider-Man ones. So watching No Way Home again with the kids last night, I came upon a scene that I've seen many times, but then it clicked, it hit me. It was like the part of the movie where Venom was at the end. And the
at the bar,
the after credit scene or mid credit scene, he's at the bar stealing drinks. He had no intention of paying it. Who knows if his credit card would even work in that universe, right? But in the middle of that conversation, he was like, and of course he was talking about in the MCU since he knew he was stuck in a new universe. He was like, maybe I should go to this New York and go check out this Spider-Man. And go check this guy out. So he had every intention to go and try to holler at Tom Holland. But then he got zapped out and went back to his universe, seeming. Went back to the Sonyverse, so the Spider-Verse. So the only person who has never faced an alien, which was mentioned in the movie, was Andrew Garfield. And he was like, I want to fight an alien. And I'm not saying that Tom Hardy is in Andrew's universe, but my theory is maybe there's a way that Venom, since he has that hive mind, he can tap into the multiverse of all the Venoms in every universe. And that's probably how he got sucked out of the Sonyverse by opening, Tom Holland's mind. And that's how he got sucked out of his universe into the MCU. That maybe he could do it again, and maybe that would accidentally send him to Andrew Garfield's universe or something like that. That's my theory. My theory is that he's going to attempt to return back to the MCU, fail, and wind up in Andrew's universe to give Andrew a proper Amazing Spider-Man 3. What do you think about that stupid theory?
I mean, I'm for it.
Is he your favorite Spider-Man? Who's your favorite?
I mean, obviously, prior to watching them, I probably would have said Tom Holland because it's the only one I'd seen, except for little clips of Tobey Maguire's. I had seen snippets here and there, but I would probably say Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield
became like he came from almost being like the third favorite to the most favorite overnight because of that movie.
You know how I am with the humorous stuff, and because he's always got the little sarcastic quips and little humor things in every little thing he says, it's funny.
His sarcasm to me was the best.
Peter 3.
Yeah, that's my favorite line. And I saw some of the outtakes and stuff. It was like Peter 1, Peter 2, and he was like Peter 3. He's like, all right.
Initiating, like, coming and hugging people for bloopers, like.
As far as like being tapped into like Peter Parker and he is the most, like, to me at least, tuned in to Peter Parker. And everybody kept giving him crap about it because he was the most attractive of the three. He's too attractive. He's too, like, if you read the original comic books from Peter Parker, from Spider-Man, Peter Parker, not Spider-Man. I researched this. Peter Parker did very well with the ladies who did not know he was Spider-Man. There were issues where women were really pining after and going for Peter. not Spider-Man. He broke hearts. He was a pimp in a lot of things. So he was not too attractive to be like Peter did good with the ladies. He had his smash or pass options out there, but I don't know. That's just me. What do you think? What's going so why do you want to see? Is that a cricket? I'm hearing a cricket. Yeah. Probably a cricket. I probably shouldn't have said nothing because I fixed these microphones to the point where you guys should not be able to hear it. But it was killing me. I'm like, there's a cricket in the house. Sorry, but what do you think about? So overall, I know I'm rambling. I feel like No Way Home gave Tobey Maguire his Spider-Man 4 that he never got. It gave Andrew Garfield his closure of Spider-Man 3 that he never got. But out of the two, I feel like there's still more story that could be told with Andrew Garfield because he never got his MJ. He mentioned Gwen was my MJ, but he never really met his MJ. He could still meet her. They filmed those scenes.
Well, I mean, Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker asked him, "Are you dating?"
He said no.
He said no, and he was like, "Oh man, you can make it work."
Which was odd because if it wasn't in the movie, then it didn't happen. But we saw the behind the scenes stuff that Andrew Garfield, he did film scenes with a woman who was cast to play Mary Jane Watson, and then they took it out of the movie because they thought it was going to distract from the main story. And probably they were going to use them again later in the third one, or maybe they would reshoot them. But now that we know that time has gone by and he hasn't dated, and he said he went to a dark place, he stopped pulling his punches. There's a lot of story that can be told there.
If you are going to go with the continued storyline and maybe hearing from another Peter that it's possible you can rebuild and go forward and try to make it work. Yeah. Maybe he will be willing to venture out there and
get out there and start dating.
Look for it again. Right. Try to find his own MJ.
Yeah. His Aunt May's still out there. He didn't lose his. I feel like there is some story that could be told there. Should we have an Amazing Spider-Man 3? I'm going to say no, because I agree with the sentiment that even these multiverse stuff is cool, but having two consecutive movies with two different franchises with starring the same character, unless one is animated like Into the Spider-Verse, I think that's a bad idea.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem seeing him be as, I won't say just a quick cameo, but some bit parts in and out of Venom where he meets up with him. And it's like, wait a minute, you're not who I thought I was looking for. And then he actually helps him do whatever the storyline is. Right.
And that's the part that I wouldn't see. I wouldn't have a problem with doing something that's twofold. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man gets more of a closure. We go deep into that whole darkness that he's going through. He meets MJ. He finally gets his third movie. Maybe not in a Amazing Spider-Man 3, but just like what we saw with No Way Home in a Venom movie. Maybe in Venom 3, it could be in the spirit of what if they called it the Amazing Venom 3? And or Venom versus Spider-Man, or Venom versus the Amazing Spider-Man, something like that. It gives Venom his third movie. It kind of gives Andrew his third movie. If Venom goes into Tom Holland's universe looking for Spider-Man, all these things that we've been wanting to know would they ever happen could finally happen. He finally goes face to face with a Spider-Man. He mimics Spider-Man's spider thing. Andrew Garfield could get the symbiote suit for a little while. All that stuff. Venom finally using webbing. All that stuff. We're about to have a guest. It looks like real quick, but I feel like in a Venom 3, she shows your side. I feel like in Venom 3 that it could work perfectly. That's just my opinion. I mean, I don't know if that idea even makes sense to you. What do you think?
I mean, I'd be fine with it.
With Tom Holland going up against Andrew Garfield instead of Tom Hardy going up against
Andrew Garfield
instead of Tom Holland for now, at least, because a little bit of Tom the symbiote was left in the MCU, so it's still anything's possible. But that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm wanting. Wow, we got Nala. What do you think? What do you think, Nala? What do you think about a Venom 3?
She's working on her OnlyFans over
here. Yeah. So if you want to check out our pet cat's OnlyFans, that doesn't exist, but I'm sure she's gonna be pushing for it. Probably shouldn't even have said that word on the live stream.
So it's been on TikTok a lot lately. People with their pets joking about gas prices.
They're doing their only Fs. What? That's a thing?
Well, not real. It's a joke.
Like people talking
people
about it.
Like having their cat doing little dances, working for gas money.
If y'all gonna pay for it, hell yeah. Daniel, he also gives us another comment. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. Where is the comment section at? Chat box alerts. It's not coming up. Oh, I must have did something wrong here. Let me see if I can fix it. The chat box isn't coming up. Oh, well, okay. I'll just have to read it out. I'm gonna fix that later. I don't think that is possible because it involves magic, him coming over last time. Yeah. Y2 Germ says, since Venom went back to his time, I don't think he'd fight any of them. Maybe you went back to his universe. He seemed to be very impressed with who the Spider-Man was.
It must have something to do with it, with him specifically saying, we need to go and meet this guy.
Yeah, he said it specifically. Maybe we should go to New York and talk to this guy. Because Eddie Brock in the Venom movies, he's an investigative journalist. Whenever anything that looks like a criminal, and remember, at the time, Spider-Man was being accused of murder at the time. I think Eddie would be interested in trying to see, is this guy really as bad as the news is portraying him to be? And he left before, or I guess when everything got cleaned up and whatnot. If he somehow retains any of that memory, maybe he does lose the memory because of the spell. But maybe I'm thinking through the hive mind thing, Venom can give Eddie Brock some new memories of Spider-Man. And then that feeling, that need to investigate Spider-Man. Some of that, it'll be some mental gymnastics to make it make sense. But there needs to be like an obsession, because Venom in the comic books is obsessed with Spider-Man. And when he merges with Peter Parker and then gets stripped away from Peter Parker, he becomes even more obsessed. He loved or wanted to merge with Peter Parker more than he wanted to merge with Eddie, because Peter had a natural strength that Eddie did. It was just a more evolved human being that Venom enjoyed being with. But when he couldn't be with Spider-Man anymore, he became Spider-Man's biggest enemy. So I'm looking forward to somehow, some way, and if that's Andrew Garfield first, I would be fine with that, because I want to see some more closure with Andrew Garfield. But that's just me. And that was Y2 Germ. What's going on, Y2? I appreciate you joining on the live show. What do you think about the new setup? So I'm not doing the camera. I've got to get back on my camera 1, camera 2 angles here right there. But we got a new setup going on right here, guys. You can see the full screen right there. Me, Joy, and Nala over there. But we got a whole new setup over there. So yeah, keep sending your questions and stuff in there. We're talking about Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man No Way Home just came available on video on demand. I got it on Vudu, and there's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. So it was something else that Andrew Garfield said that was cut out of the movie. It's still in like the deleted scene stuff. When the part where Toby and Andrew vanished after the spell was cast, one of the ad libs that Andrew Garfield said was like, if you need us again, you know where to find us. And that's when he would vanish or something. Then they filmed that, but then they took it out. Like, or maybe he ad-libbed it. Maybe it was in the script. I don't know. But that on top of Venom saying, "Let's go meet this Spider-Man." What about the new Doctor Strange movie? People have their theories on it. That's where we're going to see another Spider-Man visit. Will it be Tom Holland? Will it be Andrew Garfield? Will it be Tobey? Who would you rather it be than Doctor Strange? Because he doesn't know Peter anymore. He doesn't know
True.
Andrew Garfield. So why would he care? So like he'd be like, why is Spider-Man getting involved with my business? Wouldn't it be funny? Now people think that the spell makes people throughout the other universes forget Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I don't believe that. I think that spell only worked in the MCU. That's how I took it. Other people are thinking, let me know what you guys think. Does the spell that Doctor Strange cast cover everybody who knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man in all the universes?
Because I think if that was the case, they would have at least written in for him to let them know, when you go back, nobody's gonna know you exist.
Exactly.
Your wife's not gonna, your girl,
exactly.
Gonna know
that's why that doesn't make any sense.
And he didn't even say anything, so I don't think it applied to them.
Yeah, right there. What the smartest woman in the world, right here next to me, just said makes the most sense out of anything else I've ever heard. Because if that was the case, and I heard it on the John Campea show, you know, I'm a big John Campea fan. He thinks that the spell makes people forget who Spider-Man is in all the universes. And if that was true, that means you are now affecting a spell on other Peter Parkers who aren't asking for this. Because Toby's married probably by now. Yeah,
weren't coming to all of the universes looking for Peter. They were coming to
the MCU.
The MCU looking for.
I took it that the spell needed to make people who were currently in the MCU who not know to close that door.
Yeah.
From people who do also know who Peter Parker is from coming in. I also believe that the spell specifically said everyone on Earth. So I still believe everybody who's off-world who knew who Peter Parker was will still remember. Like Samuel L. Jackson, Captain Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy, if they heard, and all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. Anybody who's off-world. Would it be cool if how come I'm the only one who knows you're Peter Parker? And then, Tom Holland will be giving Nick Fury the biggest bear hug in the world. Oh my God, you know. And it's going to make Nick Fury so uncomfortable. But that's just another story. But I don't think, like you said, I don't think that covered all the other universes. It doesn't make any sense. So you're telling me that this is Tobey Maguire. When I go back home, my wife is not going to know me?
You would have at least warned him, like, by the way, when you go back, no one's gonna know you are.
Like, what the hell are you doing in my house? Your house, I live here. Like, I've been paying the rent here too. Like, what the hell? Like, oh man, so yeah, you're right. That wouldn't make any sense. I'm gonna write into the John Campea show and be like, you're a damn liar. It don't make any damn sense what you're saying. Y2 Germ says, I'm finally able to watch these more regularly since I just saw Spider-Man last night. Oh, damn. I'm sorry. We could have been spoiling this shit for you. My bad. Oh, my bad. And Daniel says, I still think Tom Hardy Venom and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man are in the same universe. I don't think so. Because I just feel like it would have been mentioned. Because when Tom Hardy was having that conversation with the bartender, he made it clear, like, so this is a world just full of superpowered people, indicating that on his world, he's one of the only ones. Like that's a very rare and unique thing. But in the MCU, it's like, so there's aliens, and wait, I don't know what you know about aliens, but aliens that I know eat brains and all that. Like he was having a real like moment. Like, no, I'm the only special one in my universe. I think if Spider-Man existed in Tom Hardy's universe, in Venom's universe, the Spider-Verse, I think he would have, I don't think he would, I think it would have been mentioned by now. He mentioned that he used to live in New York in part 1, and now he's in San Francisco. I mean, it would be convenient, but I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, they could just retcon this and tell you. I mean, maybe Daniel's right. Just throw it in there. All right. The whole time.
The only of the Spider-Man movies that even mentioned Venom is the Tobey Maguire one.
Yeah. But we know in his world there's aliens and things like that. There's no point of Tom Hardy going up against Tobey Maguire.
Because he would have
already done it by now.
known who he was.
Right.
already if that was the same universe.
And if this current Venom were to meet Tobey Maguire and Venom taps into that hive mind, he would instantly know who Tobey Maguire is. If Venom is able to still tap into his hive mind, which we can see that he does, that means technically Venom always knew that Spider-Man in certain universes do exist, because he can always tap into the Tobey Maguire's hive mind and see Tobey Maguire. He would always know. He should be one person who could never forget Spider-Man, because he knows that in other universes, I've gone toe-to-toe against somebody named Spider-Man, but not in this universe, not in the Venom universe. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking it. I don't know. I'm probably getting too nerdy about it. But
I mean, I think it makes the Venom movie, Venom 3 would make sense.
Mhm.
Like, it would work for it to be Andrew Garfield.
It just
make it be interesting.
Just to give Andrew Garfield something more to do.
But the
Besides,
Doctor Strange one to me would be more likely to be Tom Holland, just because they're already
bridging. Yeah. Well, they've said that WandaVision, No Way Home, and Multiverse of Madness are an arc. There's a connective tissue there. So we got to close that up with Mark. So yeah, that does make sense. But I don't know. I just want to give Andrew Garfield a little, because that whole I went into a dark place. We've already seen Toby go into a dark place. We haven't seen Andrew go into a dark place. We've definitely seen Tom go through a dark place. He almost murdered the Green Goblin in Avengers. We've seen him go dark. And I'm sorry, after losing Aunt May, Tobey Maguire should have been like, I'm gonna let him have this one. I've been wanting to kill that fool too. Let him have this. No, I'm sorry, that's just me being petty. But that's
he gets stabbed.
I mean, we can't kill anybody. I get stabbed all the time. Originally, he was supposed to die. That's what people said, that they were supposed to make it emotional that he was going to die, which would have, to me, really pushed for another Andrew Garfield. If Tobey Maguire would have died in that movie, I think the chances of more Andrew Garfield would have gone up even further. But now everybody's split. Do we get a fourth Tobey Maguire? Do we get a third Andrew? I don't know. I think with Tobey's death, his character's death, I think that would have increased the chances like about 5%. Hey, what's going on, Pierre? How you doing? So I know it's a later time than usual, but this is going to be usually the time going in moving forward. And we're talking about Spider-Man, possibilities of Venom going up against Andrew Garfield. Real quick, but we had a good conversation on that, and we're gonna move on before we close out, because we're heading to 30 minutes. So we got 2 minutes left in it. The segment, real quick. This is the real quick part of it where we go real fast on the things that's going on out there in the world of entertainment. So, what was the first one I had?
You had Michael Myers.
Mike Myers
working on a new.
Mike Myers is doing something new for, let me see if I can pull it up. Mike Myers, that's not the one. Mike Myers, okay, it's from Deadline. Mike Myers' Netflix series, the Pentaverate, if I'm saying that right, I know I'm messing it up, reveals details. It's a new movie where, okay, do you remember his movie, So I Married an Axe Murderer? Mm-hmm. There's a part of the movie where when Mike Myers was playing his own dad, he was talking about how the world is being ran by like the Queen of England, like the KFC guy, and let's thought like these are crazy conspiracy theory. That's what this movie is based on. Okay. That conspiracy theory. After
seeing the Super Bowl commercial with all the Austin Powers,
I should have known.
I need another Austin. Powers.
I was thinking like I need more Mike Myers after seeing that on.
You got everybody,
but they were already working on it. What was it?
So you get everybody to come back for a commercial. I was like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So from Deadline, it was Mike Myers' 6-episode Netflix comedy series, The Pentaverate. The Pentaverate is playing off the number 5 from the title in a big way for its release plans. I'm sorry, I'm reading this really bad. Since joining Instagram a week ago, Myers had been teasing the first trailer with images prominently featuring the number 5. What's going on with the number 5? Why is that so relevant? This morning, the account posted the teaser at 5:55 a.m., announcing that the Pentaverate, maybe if Pentaverate, is that 5?
Is 5.
Okay, my bad. I'm stupid. Will be debuting on 5/5. He released that at 5:55 p.m.
5 has something to do
AM.
with the theme there.
The trailer reveals Jeremy Irons as the series narrator and provides a glimpse at the cast. Myers, who plays eight roles. Jennifer Saunders, who plays 2, along with Ken Jeong, Keegan-Michael Key, Debbie Mazur, Richard McCable, and Lindsay West. Created by Myers and directed by Tim Kirby, the series asks, what if a secret society of 5 men, a.k.a. the Pentaverate, has been working to influence world events for the greater good since the Black Plague in 1347? And it's based on, from what I heard, it's based on a conversation that was had in the So I Married an Axe Murder. What do you think about that? Are we going to watch that series together?
I mean, I'll give it a shot.
It's Mike Myers.
I like Mike Myers.
All right. What's the next real quick from the guy who directed Watchmen, Lost?
Okay.
That's Damon Lindelof. Reportedly is working on a new Star Wars movie. So enter all you dumbass geeks and gamers from the Fandom Menace about why this is gonna suck because you guys are a bunch of haters and clowns. But sorry, but I think this is good news. Unless they agree that it's good news, then maybe I should think it's no. I'm just playing. No, this is good news. We're getting more Star Wars, so that's always good. The creator of Lost and the Leftovers and creator of Watchmen TV series is reportedly working on a new Star Wars movie, according to The Anklers, Jeff Snyder. The writer-producer was approached to create a new entry into the Star Wars universe after publicly saying he'd like to work on that universe. We're getting more Star Wars, so there's more toys for you to buy for me. Besides those other tiny toys. Anyway, and last, but real quick before we go off, last is going back to the Spider-Man universe. Spider-Man spinoff, the Madam Web is casting Euphoria star in a mystery role. What's her name? Euphoria star Sydney Sweeney, and we only seen like a few minutes of like the first episode of Euphoria. We haven't been watching Euphoria, really. But I want to get into it. I need to watch it. So I'm not really familiar too much with this actress, but she's being cast in this new Spider-Man spinoff called Madam Web, and she's being cast in it. So I don't have really much of an opinion on it right now because I got to look further into it. But if you guys are excited or you hate this casting, let me know what you guys think about it. What else do we have that you want to bring up real quick?
Well, I mean, mine's unrelated to Marvel and DC because there's nothing to do with it whatsoever.
Oh, you want me to do the laundry again? No, what you got?
I'm a big Grey's Anatomy fan.
What's happening?
Been watching since day one.
What happened?
Multiple times. Skylar Astin from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, which got canceled, and we were so disappointed by that. It's
coming to the cast, right?
It's joining the cast. So.
And we still have to watch that Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist movie.
We didn't finish it.
Did we even start it? That Roku. Okay, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist was canceled. Roku made unbeknownst to me, Roku made a final movie. I guess closing it.
We didn't see it.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. Yeah, Roku made a movie closing the show out.
Okay.
So we got to watch that. But the guy from that TV series is joining Grey's Anatomy. All right. Anything else we got? Something from Disney Plus, right?
Oh yeah, that latest controversy. I didn't watch. You watched with the kids. Turning Red by Disney Pixar.
Yeah, I heard about that guy who gave that criticism, saying that I don't see me in this Turning Red movie. And
well, there's been different complaints. There are the ones who felt it was sexist and
too graphic and talking about puberty and all that stuff.
A lot of the Christian moms groups were very upset that it's
having a disobeying
inappropriate for children because it's talking about
this. I heard one person was like,
topic.
It has a very disobedient child. It's like, have you ever seen a Disney movie?
Did you not remember when
Ariel disobeyed her father? What child doesn't disobey their parents in these movies?
About got herself killed.
Yeah. All those damn princesses getting, kidnapped by dwarfs and stuff. They ain't listening to nobody.
Well, I was like, I mean, have you never met a teenager before?
Tangled. I know. Technically, that's her kidnapper, but she was snapping. And for all she knew, that was the only mother she ever really knew. And she's like, pretty much, screw you, Mom. I'm jumping out of this damn tower someday. You keep your ass in this tower. They were some snapping kids. They would have got the hand up with me. I don't know. But no, that's ridiculous. All those stupid criticisms about Turner Red. Turner Red was a great movie. For years, you always hear people saying stuff like you see people saying stuff like we need more representation in these movies, and people that are against that for some weird reason are saying, well, why don't you make it yourself? And in this situation, somebody did. They made a movie that represents them, and then they're like, well, how come I can't see me in it?
I didn't watch it, but apparently some were like, you're pushing other religious views on us because
that's exactly what they say. They'll tell people in different groups to make it. If you want representation, make it yourself. They make it themselves. Then they complain that they don't see themselves in that represent. You just told them to make it themselves, but religion.
Because I guess some of the family is Asian. I didn't watch
it's about an Asian family, Asian Canadian family.
So like
because the maker of the movie is Asian Canadian. I'm reading reviews, some Buddhist type, some of the rituals and things. Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I don't even think they even mentioned Buddha. Oh yes, they did. They did. Yeah.
It's like, okay, and what does that have to do with anything? That's their culture, their families. What does that have to do with
The Princess and the Frog had voodoo.
What does that have to do with you personally?
You worried about Buddha? Like they had straight up voodoo.
No one's making you do anything.
Exactly. I don't know. When I hear that chant, who know voodoo? Me know voodoo. Who know voodoo? We know voodoo. That's an old cartoon. Though. I pretty forgot where that cartoon came from. But yeah, no. But before we already passed the time. Well, what's the last one that was Turning Red? On Disney Plus. If you log into your Disney Plus, and I tried to log into it, it's activated. The new Netflix series that were on Netflix, the Marvel series that were on Netflix, they got transferred over to Disney Plus, but they're rated R. They're rated mature. So now Disney Plus has now unlocked there's a new feature when the next time you log into Disney Plus,
like change your settings to what you're.
Yeah, you have to accept whether or not you're going to bring in the rated mature stuff into your already set up time, playlist and timeline. So you'll see the Netflix stuff. They even have their own little strip of like, here's the Marvel Defenders, movies and stuff like that, and all that stuff. What I also heard was in the MCU playlist, they featured all the MCU movies and all the shows. They mentioned the Netflix stuff. The one show that isn't in that playlist,
Jessica Jones.
No, Jessica Jones isn't there. The one that's not featured in that playlist is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show that was on ABC, indicating that it's not a part of the MCU. But these even on an off world other universe, they're still not. That beef between that showrunner and Kevin Feige is so strong. He's like, I don't even want it in this app.
I want all of them, but not that one.
Not that one. You can watch it on the app. It just won't show up in the playlist. So that's an old beef that you guys got to look that up. It's funny. But closing the show out real quick. Let me read the last comments that came in. Andrew Garfield wasn't known to be coming back as Spider-Man yet in the Venom 2 movies. I'm gonna say Tom will face Blackheart in a Dream crossover. I know a little bit of the only thing I really know about Blackheart is from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That's a video game that I play. That's the only thing I know about Blackheart. I think he's a Doctor Strange villain, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But I got to do my research on him before I even attempt to address that one. But thanks, you gave me some homework to do, Pierre. So I'm gonna close the show off. We were gonna do something else later on. Maybe we'll do it later on the live stream or some reaction stuff. We're gonna start doing more of those on this channel. But we're gonna go eat first. So I'm gonna close the show off, guys. If you want to reach out to us, let's go to T3 Medias or mail at T3 Medias. You can hit us up on mail or at T3 Medias on all the social medias. Let us know what you guys think. Send your questions, your comments, your concerns, any topics you want us to talk about. If you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at Chris W. Fagan on social media or at T3 Medias. I check both. And Joy, thank you for helping me out, for coming back to the show officially. She's going to be here every damn day. If they're going to find you online, where can they reach you? You want to throw? I think I have your scrub thing on there. If you don't want me to put that on there, I can take it off.
No, I was like, I don't even have. All I have is my scrub.
Yeah.
Scrub caps and more by Joy.
Yeah. So if you want a scrub cap made, you can go check that out and go order a scrub cap. If you're a nurse.
Investing in cosplay costumes. I could do that.
Oh, that's our private stuff. Don't be telling them that.
I could make those.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring you the content you want.
Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Yo. Turned up on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal.